Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Seriously, if you have the chance, you have the time also, read the Beowulf or watch the video. It's very interesting. It's a very good story, really. Let me share a screen with you. Now I'm going to give you more examples of kennings. As you have read, a kenning is a descriptive compound phrase with metaphorical meaning that stands in for a noun. For instance, ankle biter, which means a very young child. Bean counter, a bookkeeper or accountant. Bookworm, someone who reads a lot. Brown noser, a person who does anything to gain approval. Fender bender, a car accident. First lady, the wife of the president. Four eyes, someone who wears glasses. Head twister, an owl. Hot potato, something no one wants. In Spanish, we have here la rifa del tigre, right? A mind reader, a person who knows what you're thinking. Motor mouth, a person who talks loud and or quickly. Pigskin, a football. Postman chaser, a dog. A tree hugger, an environmentalist. And a tree swinger, a monkey. And we have also some examples of kennings that appear in Beowulf. A whale road, that is the sea. Light of battle, which is a sword. Battle sweat, which stands for blood. Raven harvest, to mean a corpse or a dead body, dead person. Rain giver stands for a king. And sky candle, that is the sun. Those are the kennings that appear in the poem Beowulf. And as a matter of fact, have you watched the movie or have you had the opportunity to read The Lord of the Rings?
No, not me. Teacher, Miriam doesn't have internet.
Oh,
She has trouble with the internet.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you.
I have seen the movies of the Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Somebody else?
Me.
Okay. The author of the books, The Lord of the Rings, and also the book of The Hobbit, which was previous to The Lord of the Rings, was Tolkien. Yes, Tolkien, the author, was heavily influenced by this poem, Beowulf, to write his books. As you can see, it has it mentions the ring giver to resemble a king. In the Hobbit, it has a dragon that is guarding a treasure full of gold. The quest, good versus evil, and also superheroes. So it's very interesting to see how great books such as The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings were influenced by a poem, a very humble poem such as Beowulf. Okay. Now we're getting to Geoffrey Chaucer. You can see his picture or a portrait of Chaucer in the 17th century. Somebody that can help me to read his information. Just one person who can help me read the information about Geoffrey Chaucer.
Me, teacher.
Okay. Born in 1333 AD, London, England. Died in 25 October 1400, age 56 or 57. Resting place, Westmead Abbey, London. Occupation, author, poet, philosopher, and diplomat. Spouses, Philippa wrote. Children, Elizabeth Chaucer and Thomas Chaucer. And parents, John Chaucer. And I don't see that.
No, and that's it. Thank you, Georgina.
Okay, I just have one doubt, teacher.
Yes.
And I read it and I see several videos and the born, they say on the 40 and the 42, the 43, they don't have exactly the year of the born. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, I read the same.
That's correct. It's an approximate of when he was born. That's correct. Okay, let's continue. Now, Chaucer is is known as the father of English. Here comes medium. Okay. Okay, Chaucer is known as the father of English. He wrote many books, many, and he had several periods. But his most famous work or book is the Canterbury Tales. Once again, if you have the opportunity to watch the videos or read a modern version of this book, please do. It's really interesting. Really interesting. Georgina, can please choose a victim and can help us read this slide?
Liliana.
Thank you.
Who is the father of English? Before Chaucer, English was not fashionable. He wrote in the vernacular or everyday language. Since most literature and science was still written in Latin, Chaucer wrote his stories in Middle English, now modern English. The popularity of Chaucer's works written in the London dialect of Middle English gave rise to this dialect. I'm sorry, it's so small, the letter. I am the cell phone.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Liliana. So as you can see, by the time Chaucer is writing his works, Latin is still the main language for written literature. And now he provides English with exposure and also with popularity. Hence, earning himself the place of the father of English language. And here we can see his many poetical works and also his different periods. Liliana, choose a victim, please.
Marisa.
Chaucer's poetical works. Poetical works are broadly divided into three classes corresponding the three periods of life. French period, 1359, 1372. Influenced by French masters such as Marshall, Guillaume, Delors, and Jean de Meun. The main works of this period, the Remount of the Rose, a lengthy poem, 7,700 lines. Death of the Blanche, the Duchess, better known as Book of the Duchess, Italian period, influenced by Dante, Petrarch, and Boccaccio. Main works of this period, Trollocs and Cresside, a poem of 8,200 lines. The House of Fame, a poem in octosyllabic couplets and allegory of dream type. Exquisite combination of lofty through the simply homely language. The Legend of the Good Woman. Great skill and freedom in expressing heroic couplet narrated tales of 8 virtuous women of antiquity, remarkable for their chastity, sincerity, and devotion to love. Aeneida and Arcite.
Arcite, yes.
Arcite, the Parliament of Fools.
Thank you, Marisa. Choose a victim, please.
Sí. Ignacio.
Yes. The English period, 1386 to 1400. Belong Chaucer, masterpiece and monumental work, The Canterbury Tales. Chaucer's language. Founding English as a dialect is Mainland dialect. It was the simplest in grammatical structure. Left it a language well fitted to express the finest thought of literary artists of his time. Imported words from French. Considered the first national poet who gave to the people a language so reformed and reshaped. Chaucer's place in English literature. Great not only by historical position, but also by his genius. Freshness and simplicity of style, humor, picturesque, fun, hearty praise of what is good and true. Kindly ridicule and weakness and foolishness, convinced denunciation of injustice and oppression are among his most marked characteristics.
Thank you. Thank you, Ignacio. So we have here the most important period for us, which is the English period, which was the last for Chaucer. And as we can see in that period of time in England, there were many dialects, but the one that he used, the East Midland dialect, it was the simplest in grammatical structure. It was the simplest that he could work with in order to write as he did, because the Canterbury Tales is a very long work. So it's very interested that he could use this dialect to express his thought. Another very interesting part of this period is that in this time, as we can see, Latin was the main language to write, and as we know, Latin is almost a dead language. As far as I know, nobody speaks language as a mother tongue. They have to learn they have to learn Latin as a second language. And only a few people know Latin nowadays, especially in the church. So in English, on the other side, is the main or the most important language in the entire world. As you can, if you have the opportunity to watch Wikipedia, you can see that all what is written in English, it surpasses by maybe 10 times the second language in Wikipedia. So as you can see how the table were turned. Latin is almost a dead language, and English is the lingua franca of the world today. So it's very interesting, and how everything began with Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. It's very interesting for me to think about that. As we can see, we're going to go through, you went through one tale, which was the Partner's Tale, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, when you have the opportunity to read the modern version of the Partner's Tales, you can see that is very fun to read. And also it has a message that everyone could relate to. And it has a moral to say. And also it's fun. It's a black humor or more negro sometimes. And everyone can understand what he's writing. This is very important because many writers write for themselves or a very small group of people that can understand what he tries to convey. But Chaucer, on the other hand, writes in a very vernacular sense, and everyone can understand what he's trying to say, or the message he's trying to put forward. And here, for instance, the Partner's Tale, which you read, also is a satire because he is making ridicule, or he is shining light or providing light over the church, for instance. Let's go to the next activities. Now, did you watch the Partner's Tale in activity 3?
We read it.
You read it, the Partner's Tale, or you didn't?
Yeah, we have to read.
Okay. Okay.
But the Partner's Tale is for the activity 4, right?
Yes, activity 4. Let me check the time. Let me check the time. Okay. Let me see if I can share with you a very brief video about the Partner's Tale. Okay. Let me see if I can do it. Just give me a second. Give me 1 second. Let's see if this works. I'm afraid it isn't working. Give me just 1 second, please. Give me a moment. Give me one moment. Mhm. Okay. There. Okay. Now we're going to watch a very brief explanation of the partner's tale. Let me know if you can watch and listen, okay?
Okay.
Please. So I'm going to play the video.
The Pardoner's Tale in the Canterbury Tales begins with the pardoner describing his preaching methods.
Are you able to listen and watch it?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
The Pardoner's Tale in the Canterbury Tales begins with the pardoner describing his preaching methods. He says he puts on a show for the purpose of manipulating people to give money, rather than any true concern for their souls. He uses the same text each time and preaches often about the sin of greed while living a very greedy and selfish life. After he describes how corrupt he is, he reassures the company that he is still able to tell a moral tale. He begins his tale by introducing the three young men who lived in Flanders. They had given in to every kind of vice, including gluttony and drunkenness. Sidetracking, he states that gluttony is the main cause of human grief and misery. Listing several examples from the Bible and human history, he also warns against gambling, lying, and swearing in God's name. The pardoner then gets back to his story. The young men are drinking in a tavern when they notice a coffin go by. They learn that they used to know the dead man. He has been stabbed in the heart by a thief called Death. This same thief has killed many people in the present plague. They should be ready to face death if they should meet him. Another man adds that this thief likely lives in a nearby town. The three young men decide to pursue the thief and kill him. In their drunken rage, they start out. They meet an old man who says he has lived a long time because death will not take him. They think the old man knows Death's whereabouts, so they threaten him. Eventually, the old man directs them to a tree in a nearby grove he's seen Death near. They find the tree but become distracted by coins beneath it. They believe that fortune has given them a treasure. They wait until it is dark to sneak away with it. The youngest goes to town to get food and wine, while the other two men wait to guard the treasure. While he is away, the two conspire to kill him and take the money for themselves. But the younger man has a similar idea and poisons 2 bottles of wine. When the youngest gets back, he is killed. But then, drinking the poisoned wine, the other two also die. Death has indeed taken them all. After this tale, the pardoner offers his services to the company. For a fee, of course. Harry Bailey insults him, making the pardoner angry. The knight attempts to make peace between them. The pardoner is very conscious of himself as a storyteller. He describes the various ways he manipulates people into giving him money. The story of the three young men is a sort of sermon illustration or exemplum. He prefaces this tale by saying it is a story he would often preach. The lessons are fairly clear. Sinful behavior ultimately results in death. Its moral is you reap what you sow. The men's goal of setting out to destroy Death is tantamount to blasphemy, as the men presume to equate their own power with that of God.
So you can see it's a very brief explanation of this tale, the pardoner's tale. The partoners is a sort of preacher that goes around towns, and he makes a living by selling relics. Do you know what relics are?
Antiques or
Well, relics in the church in the church version are
Reliquias.
reliquias, yes, in Spanish, which are parts of the bodies of saints. For instance, in the past, when a saint died, people would take pieces of cloth, pieces of special things, maybe the rosario, the rosary, or the crucifijo, and even parts of his body, the fingers, the toes,
the hair.
stuff like that. The hair, exactly, the hair. And the partner is sort of a preacher, and he tells the company that he's going with that in reality, he doesn't care about the souls. He's not a believer. He only wants the money. And even that he sells the relics to people, and in reality, those relics are not part of the saints' bodies. He takes those skeletons or those bones from dead pigs.
It's
So-
like a charlatan. What is the word in English for charlatan?
Exactly. I don't remember right now the word for charlatan in English, but yes,
Kind of-
yes, he's a liar, and he makes a living from people that is very religious and believe in what he preaches. So, so before telling the story, he confesses his sins to the people that are accompanying them. And then he tells this story about the three young men who are drinking in a tavern, and then they see a carriage with a dead body, and they say that, hey, we know that person, and somebody says, oh, he was killed by death, and then they set out to kill death in revenge for killing their friend. And they encounter an old man, and he tells them where they can find death. And when they got to the oak, to the tree where they could find death, you saw that they found a treasure, gold coins. And that's when greed settles in. Their greed settles in, and they say, well, we have to stay here until tomorrow to guard the treasure and then take it home. And they send somebody. They are three people, right? They send somebody to go to town to bring food and wine. And the two guys that remain guarding the treasure plot to kill the guy that they send to the town to bring food. So, and the guy that they send to the town, he poisons the food and the wine. So when he returns to the tree where the two guys are waiting for him, he's killed. But when they drink the wine and when they eat the food, they die also because they're poisoned. So it is very interesting how the story.
So at the end, they found it.
At the
But
end, they found
go.
exactly. And guys, this is this is what you're going to do in activity 4. You're going to be answering those comprehension questions about the partner's tale, which forms part of the Canterbury Tales. Let me share with you the page. Just give me 1 second. Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't see it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, teacher Mari present to us a very funny cartoon about this Barton's tale.
Really? Really?
Yes, a very funny cartoon, yes.
So you know something about it. Okay, let me. Are you able to watch the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
It's blurry.
Sorry? It's blurry.
Blurry.
Now?
Yes, now it's clear.
Okay. So this is activity 4, guys, which you're going to carry out. Dice que cuando termine la sesión van a leer el cuento del perdón, ¿no? Ahí vienen las páginas del archivo. Si no lo tienen, yo se lo voy a mandar, no se preocupen.
Les recomiendo que mejor lo bajen de otra parte porque el archivo que viene ahí no está nada entendible. Yo lo quise leer y mejor leí el cuento de otra fuente.
Exactamente.
Recomendación.
Exactamente. ¿Por qué? Porque
Teacher, pues si
está,
usted lo tiene, nos lo manda, por favor.
muy bien, está en la versión original. Entonces va a ser muy difícil que lo entiendan. Entonces, sí, yo les mando la versión más moderna para que puedan entenderlo mejor y sobre todo que lo puedan disfrutar. Vale la pena de verdad leerlo. Y van a contestar sus preguntas, ¿no? ¿Qué piensa acerca de lo que acabo de leer? ¿Por qué los 3 jóvenes buscan a la muerte? ¿Qué esperan encontrar bajo el árbol y qué encuentran realmente? ¿Qué pasa con ellos? Y ya otras preguntas sobre, ¿te sorprendió el final del cuento? Bueno, ya les conté yo buena parte, ¿no? Pero bueno. Bueno, ¿qué detalle lo llevaron a apreciar el final? Si les sorprendió, ¿qué detalle los puede llevar a predecir un final diferente? Y bueno, aquí ven las preguntas que ustedes van a estar contestando en la actividad número 4.
Muy bien, para el lunes, ¿verdad? Muy bien.
Para el lunes, si Dios quiere. Bueno, a ver, vamos a ponernos para la foto, ¿sale? Ya nos quedan pocos minutos.
Dame chance.
Nos
Es que mi
quedan-
cámara, cuando apago mi cámara y la vuelvo a prender, en ocasiones se queda negro y tarda rato en salir la imagen, no sé por qué.
Ahorita
Ahí
está negro.
ahí
Teacher,
la apago.
yo tengo mi cámara apagada porque estoy alimentando a la bebé.
Ah, muy bien. Muy bien. Bueno, hagamos una cosa, ¿sale? Si alguien tomó capturas de pantalla o tomó fotos, porque a mí siempre se me olvida, no sé por qué. Tengo esa mala
Yo
maña.
tomé, ahorita se las mando al personal.
Ándale, si es tan amable, por favor. Pásanos, por favor, para tenerlas como evidencia, ¿sale?
Sí, en un momento se las mando.
Muchísimas gracias. Pues jóvenes, una vez más, pues un placer estar con ustedes. Me siento muy afortunado de compartir con ustedes un seminario más. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo, por su disposición. Y bueno, vamos a trabajando ese seminario. Ya llevamos una clase, nos faltan 2 virtuales más, la última semana que será del trabajo integrador. ¿Qué les pareció la clase? ¿Qué les pareció la lectura? ¿Les gustó Beowulf? Cuéntame, ¿qué les pareció?
Sí, está muy interesante, profe. Bueno, a mí me gusta mucho la materia de literatura, la verdad. Y comentarla entre todos está bien porque así lo que a uno se nos pasa ya lo comprendemos mejor con las aportaciones de los demás.
Muy bien, excelente.
Sí, por ejemplo, la actividad 2, donde venían pues las preguntas, algunos lo entendimos de tal manera, nuestra percepción es diferente y pues compartirlas es de gran ayuda para comprenderlas mucho mejor.
Sí, la verdad que ayuda mucho el compartir lo que cada quien logró entender, porque así nos enriquecemos, ¿verdad? Así nos enriquecemos. ¿Alguien más que quiera compartir? Cuando tengan la oportunidad de leer el cuento del perdonador, les va a gustar mucho, la verdad. Y van a entender por qué fue tan exitoso Geoffrey Chaucer en sus obras. Pues jóvenes, muchísimas gracias de nuevo. Por hoy sería todo. Nos vemos el próximo sábado a la misma hora, al mismo canal. y les agradezco su tiempo y su disposición. Entonces, pues que tengan un feliz sábado, cuídense mucho y estamos a la orden. Sale, vale.
Gracias.
Cuídense mucho, hasta luego.
Gracias a
Gracias.
usted, teacher.
Bye,
Cuídense,
cuídense.
saludos.
Gracias.
Bye.
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 Cristian.